is Mental Health Awareness Month, and this presents an opportunity for leaders to be very thoughtful about how they'll both handle and accept mental health issues in the workplace. With COVID-19 heightening fears and anxieties, it's a tough time for everyone. It's definitely exacerbated for those who already suffer from a mental health issue. So it's really imperative for leaders to think through how they're going to incorporate positivity when it comes to mental health in the workplace. Think about it. Right now, more than ever, leaders are being encouraged to use those first few minutes of every conversation to check in, do a pulse check with their people. How are they doing? So it creates an environment for these conversations to happen and to happen often. So we wanted to provide a couple of tips, or I might even like to say challenges, to leaders this month as they enter these kind of conversations with people. The first is all around acceptance. 1 in 5 people in the United States suffers from a mental health condition. 1 in 5. That is real, folks, right? It's not their organization, it's my organization, it's your organization. So to create that supportive and inclusive environment, it is imperative. How can leaders do that? First is when they find themselves in conversations, avoid minimizing when people share things with you. So if someone expresses a fear or an anxiety, don't say things like, oh, it's not that bad, right? Instead, engage in a dialogue, make them feel heard, and just be that person that they need to talk to in that moment. The other thing you would want to refrain from doing is swooping in or problem solving, right? You don't want to be that person who thinks that they can solve a problem in just a couple minutes. Really, that's just another way of minimizing something it's pretty significant for the individual. And then one more under this acceptance bucket is around refraining from the use of stereotypes. So how often has someone said, oh, I'm OCD, or I can't focus, I'm ADHD? Rather than encourage or laugh at those kind of statements, just avoid them altogether and reserve them for the true conditions in which they are supposed to describe. The next tip or challenge I would say is be resourceful. So let's face it, unless you are a certified mental health professional hired by your company to act in that capacity, there is a boundary you don't want to cross. So when you can't be that mental health professional to the person who you're talking with, know what resources are available so you can provide some guidance. Most organizations have employee assistance programs, EAPs, so know about yours, know how to access it so you can support its use. Also know what other tools are available, crisis bridges, peer support groups, for example. And then last but not least, there are a ton of online free resources from reputable organizations. My favorite is Mental Health America. They have a great toolkit that you can go to their website right now and download. It has key messages, infographics, diagnostic tools, all very confidential. But it just really helps someone process through what they're going through. And you as a leader, it gives you the tools to help them do that. It also has a dedicated section on COVID-19, so a great resource right now. So in summary, the 2 tips or challenges as a leader, be accepting of mental health in your workplace and be resourceful so you can point people in the right direction when they need it.